Before I get started in this commentary, I want to send a quick shout to JR when she's done some videos that have talked about jobs from perspective of a college graduate, and then whatnot. And I gotta say that she's on a roll with them. So I suggest you guys go look at her videos and get a perspective, her perspective on these things. Excellent commentary. That being said, I have talked about jobs from my very original channel and even up now to this channel. Now, have I gone in detail have I done as I did in my original channel? No, because it seemed to me that some of our people have seemed to ignore the most obvious things in front of us. How and why black unemployment is so high and why it remains high. Now, I don't know what happened. No, I think I know what happened to our people. And I keep going back to April 4th, 1968. Prior to that, blacks was fighting major battles to get certain rights, to be able to do certain things. But it wasn't until the day that Dr. King was assassinated and cities across the country started to go up in flames. White folks realized in politics and business, we need to hire some black people to keep them from destroying us, because they're going to be gunning for us. Because I'm going to tell you something. And I keep trying to tell brothers and sisters, we are not a minority. Okay? We're not a minority. Now, the government has gotten slick with reclassifying people of color, people who come from us, who do have African ancestry. Yes, they do, just like white people. They have African ancestry. And if you guys don't understand what I'm talking about, you guys need to do some major research. Because some of our brothers and sisters out here are in denial about who is what and where they come from. Because it's a misnomer that everybody just stayed in Africa and the slave masters went on the African. No, we was all over this planet. And each group of people was systematically turned or put to bondage by people helping within our community, people who look like us, who have our characteristics, okay? That being said, we've always been entrepreneurs. We've always been inventors. We've always been go-getters. We've always made something out of nothing. We've always taken the little that we have and made it thrive. Now, some of y'all are perfectly content living that way. I've never been content living that way, especially the older you get and the things that you experience and things you see. I remember me and my father was talking about, it was years ago. We still talk about it to this day. But when I remember we first had a conversation about his father and the land that he farmed and how he was pushed off of it, and like so many other black families who had farmland, whether it be in the north or the south or the west coast, whatever, it was farmland, even the east coast. And you can see the tears is, his eyes glass up. You see it with his brothers. And these men are in their 60s and 70s, and their older brother is in his 80s. So just imagine what it was like to live as a little boy, seeing grown men have the yes sir, no sir, seeing their livelihoods taken away from them and being forced to go to northern cities where you already had blacks in the northern cities looking down on the southern blacks. And this is a lot. We need to talk about these things because a lot of our people have done stuff to each other, and we still do things to each other that doesn't make sense. Now you got the southern black men or the west coast black men on the east coast or the midwest. They all fighting each other for jobs to get positions, but nobody want to let them in. They may let one or two in, and like I said, April 4th, 1968 changed it where they said, let's stop bringing them in. Those brothers who were younger or in their middle in their 20s and 30s, they were able to get jobs. And some of them, as they got older, they realized, wait a minute, I got to hold on to this. So a lot of them start changing their minds about certain things that our people make sacrifices for. And it's come to our detriment. Let's open up. Let's get these coalitions together. And it messed us up. While you was building a coalition, those people in the coalition was going out getting the jobs that you had or you wanted for your son or daughter or for your spouse. Then we say, okay, we had stores, restaurants in our communities. What happened? Over time, Instead of us networking, instead of us ingraining this stuff in our family, that this must be a family business. That we must network with our other black brothers and sisters. We got more separate. We started taking on the so-called dominant personalities. You lucky to find a black store in our neighborhoods now, a black gas station, a black supermarket, a black restaurant without the word soul food in it. Because we allowed it to happen. We allowed people to come in and tell us how to raise our children, how to interact with the opposite sex, how we should practice religion, who should be our enemy, instead of us saying, you know what, we're the only group of people that have made it easy for everybody on this planet. And with the help of black celebrities in the late 80s and the 90s, you had a lot of these new arenas being built. They took land from people that bought homes. Homes mysteriously caught on fire and things of that nature. And I'm in high school, freshman year of high school. Actually, in grammar school, I noticed it. But when I started going to high school, started traveling, public transportation, you saw it. You saw people in the neighborhood taking ornaments or historical landmarks, taking them piece by piece or just taking them down because we didn't know. How many of y'all know that the historic landmarks are protected? And if you own one, you get certain grants, certain government money, certain things to help you maintain it. But they don't want you doing that. Now you had the people who lived in the burbs, who moms and dads in the 40s and 50s, 60s ran to the burbs thanks to the World War II and the Cold War, the Korean War, and then the Cold War and everything. They ran to the burbs. They figured the major cities would be the first ones to get hit with a bomb, a nuclear bomb. So they surrounding us, and we on top of each other, fighting each other. They had brothers and sisters putting on the housing projects that was once beautiful, but was cheaply constructed. If you deny them proper education, proper amenities, after a while they start acting like certain people, they act like savages. I'm not saying all do, but enough did. You let them housing projects up 50, 60 years, then you say all of a sudden that's prime real estate. But we got to get these niggas out of here. We want to take the city back, but we got to do it systematically. Get them out the housing projects, tear them down. Promise you're going to put mixed housing. No mixed housing. You can't afford it. So now you in the neighborhoods where the black men and black women tried to hold on for years, maintaining their property. Now the people that didn't have anything, they moving next to you through Section 8. And I'm not saying everybody on Section 8 is like that. Or homeowners are selling properties cheap, or they renting it out, homes out, where they can go live in a condo, or they go to Florida somewhere, or they in another new subdivision in the suburbs. Police officers not doing their job. Weapons and drugs are running rampant within our community. See y'all see what's going on now? Excuse me. You see how they doing it? Now you didn't let all the illegals come in. Who the community illegals gonna go to first? Yours and mine. Because we as black people always love to forgive people. We always love to help people. We always want to help people. Deep down, we know these people of color come from us. Whether we say it or not, we still thinking it on the subconscious. Or we do think it. I'm not going to do what they did to us. That's where we made our mistake at. Everybody don't have that type of mindset. So what happened? What did we do? What the hell did we do? We let the Koreans, the Asians, the Greeks, the Arabs, the Hindus, the gay community, white women, everybody come in and become all of a sudden they minority status. Wait a minute, they minority status, but yet they turn around and dump on us. The stores that was owned by black men and women are now Korean ran, or they ran out. The beauty supplies that black women and black men frequent all the time, you can't even get a distribution because they got it locked up. But when brothers and sisters was warning us, or people right now in our community like myself are warning us, oh, you just being paranoid, you don't know what you're talking about. We got to get a job. We got to go get a degree. I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of college educated people who are homeless or who damn near homeless or to take jobs they looked down on when they was in high school. Now you see them they trying to hide. You going to like a Culver's. If y'all know what that is, that's a restaurant up here in the Chicagoland area. They waiting tables. You're like, I went to school there, but they see it like, oh, damn, they duck. And then you say, hey, did I go to school with you? No. It's like, nah, I know I did go to school with you. Oh, yeah, you right. Yeah. And then I'm sitting there telling a friend, I said, this dude, this chick, They gave me a hard time when I was working a minimum wage job. When I worked my way up to management. Then when I lost it, I had to make a course correction. I went to the military, and it was the best decision I made. Now, don't get me wrong, I got my moments where I said, like, I should have did this, I should have did that, I should have, would have, could have. But I knew what was going on around me when the jobs was pushing us out. Now, if you go to like a fast food restaurant or a movie theater or something, or jobs that was normal in our community, see young black kids have as part-time, that's pretty much way of the dinosaur. Because you either got a bunch of foreigners or the community's been so tripped overnight. Our children right now, whether they live in the suburbs or still in the city, kids are unemployed. Young men and women, older men and women are unemployed because we took our eye off the ball. We thought that we arrived. We thought that, the jobs that our parents or grandparents had, we looked down on them. I remember when I was a kid, black men used to have the lawn care businesses. Who you see now? White guys and got back into it. Or they was already had a family business, but now the Mexican guys they hired, now these guys went and saved up their money, got them a truck, got a couple of lawnmowers. And I don't begrudge them for that. I don't. They saw opportunities. We had little convenience stores, grocery stores, and we didn't want to support our own people because we thought the water was colder from others. Now we sitting there saying to ourselves, there's no jobs. You know why it's no jobs? Because we don't support each other. Right now, we have money coming in our community that don't even circulate once. Billions of dollars coming in. This is why major companies come to our community. This is why every other ethnicity come to our community, because we don't think high of ourselves. Y'all have heard me say, know your history, control your dollar. I've said it hundreds of times in my videos. But y'all waiting for somebody in Washington, a president that let me tell you something. It's not fair to put everything on Mr. Obama. He can't create jobs. That he can help a climate, but he don't have ultimate say. You got the Senate, you got the Congress, you got your state Senate and Congress, you got your local government, then you got companies that don't want to hire you. When Walmart first started, Walmart did not come to the city. They was out in the suburban areas, out in the rural areas. They wanted to build those areas up, get them tax breaks and stuff. Now they come to the city because the city is being gentrified, and there's a certain group of people coming back towards the city. Here it is. I know there's black McDonald's owners, but those black McDonald's owners should have been bitching them and say, wait a minute, hold on. How in the fuck are you hiring legal motherfuckers coming to these locations? When our money, our people have helped make McDonald's what it is. See, I used to work for KFC. They ain't got nothing but illegals up in them stores. Nothing but. Burger King, the same way. Don't y'all realize by us want to help everybody or not challenging certain things, we fucking ourselves in the ass? Here it is. You got people that sneak in this country and demand rights. But here it is. We are 9, maybe 10, 12 generations in some cases or more, and we still don't get shit. The so-called Native American has gotten grants and tax credits and things to open casinos. What about the black person? Where's our 40 acres of new? We ain't going to never get it, so we got to create our own. We got black men and black women who are celebrities, who are well-to-do, and they selfish. And people gonna say, how you going to tell somebody what to do with their money? Wait a minute. You think you got where you was at by yourself? You think that your white fans that you got now went and bought your stuff? Nope. It was black kids on the basketball court spending money for them first pair of Jordans in cents. And they still buy them to this day. Even people that never even saw him play, only have seen him play in tape or in clips. Here it is. Before Michael Jackson became Michael Jackson, his brothers, they was out in Gary, and it was black supporting them. And it was still blacks to support him to the day he died in cents. Oprah Winfrey, it was blacks. Bill Cosby, it was blacks. I can go on. And what have we done to each other? They got big. I got crossover success. A lot of y'all get mad when I criticize Oprah. Why does she go all the way to Africa when she could open a school? There's a lot of young, deserving black girls here or black kids. And she gave an interview on Access Hollywood. And when people started calling her out on it, that she went too far. Because people was saying, yep, we knew Oprah was like that. She said, black kids in the United States don't want nothing. All they worry about gym shoes and clothes. That's a nice generalization. Because of her and Michael Jordan, what they contribute to the West Side Chicago brothers and sisters that own homes over there where the United Center sits at, or areas, homes in the area where Harpo Studios sit. They was pushed out. Homes were set on fire. People were murdered. Oh yeah, people. This stuff just don't happen. Chicago happens everywhere. But those of us who see it, we're called paranoid. And then every time something happens, oh man, we didn't know about this. I'm like, damn, we've been talking about it for years. A lot of y'all figure if you don't see it on the internet, it didn't happen. This is why you go to the library. This is why they got newspaper articles. Go pull these things up. Ask your mother, ask your father, ask your older brother, ask your sister. I'm going to Howard. Now I want to go to Yale. I want to go to Harvard. No, I want to go to Princeton. You got those educations and it won't translate. You might got straight A's, straight B's, be the top of your class. They're going to make sure white boy and white girl get them jobs. I've seen it happen. I was in the Army, and this guy was talking about the Army, so we know he's talking about his college degree. I went to this school, and I said, why the fuck you here enlisted? You in Iraq just like I am, getting shot at. Everybody started letting his face went red. I got tired of him trying to down us, trying to throw his education around everybody. I said, if you had all these degrees, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be carrying an M16 around. You wouldn't be going out here getting shot. You wouldn't be covered in sweat every day. You wouldn't be walking in feces and everything. You wouldn't be having kids throw rocks at you. You wouldn't be called a baby killer. Then when a black person said, I'm like, brother, don't get cocky. Sister, don't you get cocky. I know a lot of educated brothers and sisters. I got some of my family. They still got to get up and go to 9 to 5 jobs, or 9 to 6, or 9 to 9, or they don't have them. This is why I tell you, brothers and sisters, y'all better learn how to adapt. I lost my job because of some Mexicans, some two-faced Puerto Ricans, and a racist white man and woman. Or a few racist white men and women, I should say. Because they saw me rising up. Oh, they finna build a new store. They finna give him. He's gonna be the store manager. He's gonna make all the decisions. And when you get from store manager, they send you to make you a supervisor. They can't have a nigga riding around in a company car, expense account. They will fuck their whole head up. So they said, get that nigga out of there. He's too strong. He doesn't back down. He don't jump when we say jump. So they lied on him. So I knew that nobody's going to hire me with that kind of money I was making. So I had to make a decision that I didn't want to do. I'd avoid joining the military for a long period of time. But when I realized what's going on, I saw the economy turning bad, and people didn't understand. Nobody's making sacrifices at that time. We still ain't made no sacrifices. There's only a certain group of people who kept going within the military. Why do you think they pushed the age from 35 to 42? You have men that were 41 going in the Army. I saw them. I was a base trainer. I'm like, this dude kind of too old for this. Because your body starts to break down. But those guys, stress fractures, broken bones, let them heal. They forced themselves. A lot of them went and got to Iraq, Afghanistan, got killed. So they can get some money to their children or wife can have a roof over their head. That still wasn't enough. But see, me, I wanted them elitists or uppity, but now they used the term elitist thanks to the Clintons. I want them elitist niggas. I saw the handwriting on the wall, so I went and got my benefits. And I'm using them wise. And they hate that. How do he knows about this stuff? I know people who know people. See, some of y'all out here waiting for the government to get stuff. You got to create your own. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, if you got to take a part-time job, but people say you can't find that, you know what? You need to get to find who's your alderman or your councilman or who's the church, who got the biggest church in the community. You need to go sit down with them. And you need to complain. If they don't take it, you need to get door to door and get a bunch of young brothers and sisters. And y'all need to start saying, you know what? How can they come into our community? They ain't even got a birth certificate here. I don't give a fuck about mama and daddy sneaking in this country. I don't give a fuck what's going on in China or other places. I'm an American citizen. I take priority. You ain't gonna fuck me like you fucked my grandmother and grandfather or my mother and father. That's how you get them. See, right now on YouTube, there are brothers and sisters who putting this stuff out here, but y'all ain't listening. They're going after our channels with the help of black men and black women because there's always a handkerchief head ready to cut our throat. Cause they've been promised, or they think they're gonna get something. They don't realize they're gonna get their throat cut. We have money in our community. Y'all, I see it every day when I get in my car, when I go to doctor's appointments, or I'm running errands, or I'm visiting my father or my grandmother. I'm like, if I could own that building and get in contact with some of these distributors, I can put some groceries in there. I get that piece of land, I could probably put a car wash right there. I could put a gas station right there. Or let me own some properties and I can get some mixed housing or get cheap housing. Or let me get that piece of land and have somebody come out and test the soil and see if it's okay to plant fruits and vegetables there. See, that's how I think. I've always thought like that. But the problem is the banks that we have in our community. Everybody nowadays got a debit card or a credit card, some level. You go to a bank, you got your money. I don't care if you got $300 in there. You have a say. You ask yourself, wait a minute, I've been coming to your bank 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Why in the fuck is no black business in our community? And then, well, I got a business idea. Well, you're having to collide of bullshit. Y'all take losses, profit and losses every day. Didn't Chase just lose over, $1 billion to $3 billion? That's what happened in business. You have to go with the bad profits and losses. They can write that off as taxes, but they don't want you to have it. Ain't no let these niggas do it. They get a foothold. That one nigga, he gonna tell everybody everything. I've had brothers tell me, oh, I don't like no Farrakhan. What have the Nation of Islam done for the black community? How many of y'all know the Nation wanted to start a cosmetics line for black men and black women? And they was going, and Johnson, the brother, I forget, Johnson Beauty Product, I guess you call it that name. I forget the exact name. They were the ones that was advertising back in Soul Train back in the day. Okay? You know, the brother Johnson Beauty Care and whatever. Well, guess what? A group of people that always claimed victimhood got wind of it. And they told this brother, if you work with the Nation of Islam, we don't care what capacity. We're gonna make sure Walgreens, Kmart, whomever don't carry your product, carry that line. Now here it is. You have neo-Nazis teaching. They got businesses. We don't see them out there protesting against them, but you come across the black community. You go to another black man that has a successful business and threaten him. You see that brother? What did he do? See, we the only people that don't realize that we have no friends. Everybody will do and say things to us at any given time. And I'm telling y'all right now, until we understand that, we're going to always be at the beck and call of another motherfucking group of people. When Mr. Obama said something about them 30 million illegals, you just gave everybody a broom to fuck us over. I had people say, well, it's not the illegals taking the jobs. Oh, really? Think about it. You in the predominantly black community, you go to a McDonald's or Burger King, try to get a minimum wage job to get you going, to get your foot in there where you can save something. I mean, think about it. You go in there, you got 5 Hectors, 3 Jose's, 4 Marias, and 1 Andre, 1 Keisha. Who that's benefiting? They taking that money, spending with their people. 9 times out of 10, because there's no business in your community, or you got to go out of community, you spend it with other people. Then within a year or 2 time, this whole store's full of them, and you go there and like, what the fuck? Then the neighborhood changes overnight. That's how they did Miami. See, we have a kind heart for everybody else but ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say blame it on one particular group of people, but you see how it happens. Here there's an Asian come and open a Chinese restaurant or a Korean-style restaurant in our community, or a greasy spoon. But let me say, hey, I studied culinary. Well, I know how to cook Chinese food. Let me try to sell it. They will not go in there. And if you do get up in there, they're going to charge you exorbitant rent, or you ain't going to be able to go to the distribution place and buy the products you need, because they're going to charge you an arm and leg. But see, our people are so scared that we don't say nothing about this. Other guys watching the news. They talk about Attorney General Eric Holder, ex Cummings, I forgot his name, Representative Cummings, I believe. At least I got his name correct. Brother with bald head. Can't think of his name right now. You excuse me. And Ed Schultz asked him, do you think it's racism? The brother hesitated. He went, I'm not going to say that. Wait a minute. You're a black man. You won't even acknowledge racism, but you can't talk about women's rights, white women's rights, gay rights. You talk about everything else. But when it comes to our people, everybody gets scared. This is why our community is in a downward spiral. Because we let those men and women who are hateful, and notice I say those, because not everybody is hateful. Not everybody's out to cut our throat. But you allow those who are to get covered. The health care bill, any person with common sense will understand this will benefit people. If the public option, if they had universal health care, it would have went through, it would have helped a lot of people. The very people fighting against it are the first ones in the emergency room, or the first ones saying, my son, he has a tumor the size of a grapefruit on the side of his neck. Will somebody help us? You send your donations to this bank. They might get maybe $2,000, $3,000 of that. But the hospital got to take the cost. And the hospital going to charge you, the taxpayers. How do you think these hospitals stay in business? Your money, your tax dollars. Well, blacks don't pay no tax. Who told y'all that? Every time you make a purchase, you paying a tax on something. Every time you fill your tank up in your car, you paying a tax. Whether it says it or not, it's included in there. No jobs, no cash, no future. Yeah, for some, it's not going to be a future. Some of y'all not going to have a cash. This is why the illegal drug trade and weapons trade has boomed in our community, because they purposely took jobs away from us. Why do you think they put in prisons in rural areas? To give jobs to those white men and white women, to make them feel good. Those Hispanics that live among them. But see, I've warned y'all about this. Other brothers and sisters have warned y'all about this. You got people making videos now because we see what's going on. Our unemployment rate is extremely too high. Extra, so why are these pastors out here? They got their shiny suits on, their nice cars. Why aren't they out there talking about jobs? Why aren't they creating job opportunities? Every time y'all pass a damn tithe around, y'all contributing to that church. That church is tax exempt. What taxes are they paying? Oh, they gotta pay for upkeep. But if it's a brand new fucking building, unless Mother Nature does something to it, what they need to do, all they need to make sure water's on and lights on. If a church is sitting idle for a week or you there for a few hours, bills shouldn't be that high. This is why I say these pastors ride around these cars, these nice suits, want to get around these aldermen. You need to start asking questions. If I had my way, if you gave me, say, 9 months, the community have a whole different outlook. We can't do anything, or people come in our community, brothers want something. We got other people killing. There are brothers and sisters that do have some business in our community. But what do? We stand in front of them, because the foreigner said, go stand there on the street. I've heard these guys do these things. We shooting each other, and then guy got close up his business, or the man or woman who had it have shot dead, or their kids have gotten hurt, or they say, I can't do this. So a foreigner come in, they bolt their place up like Fort Knox. Y'all won't fuck around with them. See, we got to look at ourselves and understand a lot of things that we've done wrong. Like I said, you got to believe in yourself. If those brothers and sisters got some education, see what your education can do and translate that into creating something for yourself. Some of y'all are damn good with computers. Why don't y'all get an internet site going? Or team up with brothers and sisters that want to do these things and say we can generate our own thing. Or say, you know what? Hey, such and such, your credit is good. Okay, why don't we go together and you combine our credit? See if we can go buy us a cheap property for $26,000, $27,000, maybe $30,000. Go to the bank, get a loan, or get somebody we know can help us go ahead and fix it up. Turn around, rent it. Instead of you taking money to go buy a car every month, y'all splitting that money. You taking that money, investing in other things. Then within 3, 4, 5 years, you can sit there and splurge because you got you income coming in. I'm telling you right now, brothers and sisters, we got power. You just got to know how to use it. We got talent. We just got to know how to use it. And those black men and black women who ain't bringing nothing to the table, we got to separate ourselves from them. This is why I sit and say these brothers out here ain't gangsters. Because gangsters in the traditional sense, like Al Capone and all of them, they wore their suits and ties. They didn't go out there doing the dirty work. They got other fools to do it. Then on top of that, they said, you know what? Don't you sell no poison to no little kid. Don't you shoot no woman. You stay on your side of town, I got my side of town. What do? They invest money back into their community. We the only suckers and don't do shit like that. See, I wouldn't have a problem with a brother selling weed. Hey, everybody smokes it. Everybody. Everybody has smoked some weed at some point in their life. Everybody's took a sip off a beer or some wine. Everybody's done these things that they try and send you in jail for. This is why I think white folks are hypocrites when they talk about we got to legalize marijuana. Wait, whoa. When blacks are talking about that, you niggas are crazy. You just don't want them to take responsibility. If they do get this shit passed, every black person in this country should raise hell, whether they went to jail or not. Whether they said, wait a minute, this drug or this cause of this have dismantled our community to the degree. Here in Chicago, they said 8 tons of weed was confiscated. 8 tons. And it came from Mexico. How did the fuck it get through all these customs? How did it get through all these different states? But you and I driving down the street, they pull us over no matter what we did. How rare do you see them pull a truck over on the road and say, open up your conscience, let's see. Let's take a dog on there. Let's see what's going on. Right now, you could be driving past a truck got guns and drugs in it. Human trafficking. Dead bodies, all kinds of shit. But y'all like, oh, that's too paranoid. However, you think it's too far. No. Watch your news. Everything that you think is outlandish and crazy, I'm telling you, it's going on. But as I said, know your history, control your dollar. This is why I'm always going to be able to be a step or 5 steps ahead of everybody else. Because I can see it. I can see it coming. And I'm telling you, all you got to do is learn from your mistakes or learn from your parents or grandparents or the guys and gals around you. Y'all have skills. Use them. And I'm going to tell brothers and sisters this. I ain't talking about skills, music, and comedy. Because there's a dime a dozen. Everybody's not going to be a singer. And even if they are, you ain't going to get discovered because you got guys like Usher and them. They're going to go look for White Town. Usher went to Canada and got Justin Bieber. Think about that. Our own people are cutting our throats. But you need to get with people of like mind who want to see better or want better. Now, there's no guarantee that you go to college, you're going to get a job, or you're going to be taken seriously. Because in fact, they look at you a little bit more dangerous. Remember I told y'all, the biggest thing they fear is a black man or black woman with education and common sense because they're dangerous. You can use your common sense to bookmarks at smarts at the same time. Nothing can stop you. This is why I tell everybody, don't tell everything out here in public. Like today, I went back a little bit, but I mentioned some things, but it's things that you can do that they ain't gonna never know. Don't let your left know what your right hand is doing. Don't let your enemy know what you're thinking. Don't telegraph your battle plan. We can change our community if we so want to. If we ease up on the religion, if we ease up on trying to be friends with everybody, if we ease up on the haterade in our community, or if we put those who are cooning, handkerchief heads, sambos in their place, those who are willing to kill their own, we need to deal with them. Then we can deal with the problem of unemployment or where our dollars are going. But when you got those things fighting you, then you got structuralized racism, it's going to be difficult. So I hope y'all listening to Gia, Eat That Pussy, Angel Stunting Up 7, myself and others out here who put these videos out trying to get our people to wake up. And understand this, if you are a black YouTuber and you don't want to hear this message, keep it stepping.